All right, gang, so we're out here today getting the old muzzleloader tuned up. Today is opening day of muzzleloader season in my area, but next weekend will be the first time I get the chance to get to go out. So I'm gonna side her in, make sure she's shooting good. This year we're running two 50 grain pellets of Hodgdon Pyrex, which is pretty common, and then 250 grain Thompson Center Shockwaves. So gotta put a hurting on them. Check back in with you in a minute when we're getting ready to shoot. All right, so we're gonna be sighting in at about 20 yards. Let me see if I can get this old rangefinder up here for you guys. See what we're saying here. Yeah, about 20 yards and some change. Reason for that, about the furthest shot I'm going to be taking in the woods where I'm hunting is maybe 40 yards. So, and I've got open sights, so I wouldn't push it much past 50 or 75 with open sights anyhow. All right, so let's get loaded. I've got 2 pellets, a saboted projectile, and a primer in these tubes. Keeps me nice and organized, so we're going to go through the process. All right, so we've got 2 powder pellets down there, and then the projectile. Make sure it's seated all the way to the bottom so you don't have a pipe bomb. Nobody wants that. Safety first with muzzle loaders, guys. All right, so now that we've got our load in the barrel, take your primer and you put it on the, oh boy, this is always difficult with this specific model here of the old school Thompson Center inline. They've gotten a lot better over the years. All right, so again, we're at 20 yards. Gonna see what we can do. Got my charge already loaded and primer already on. So all that's left to do is flip the safety off and send her. See what we can do. All right, well, this might be a whole lot easier than I expected because that first shot was on the money. I'll go ahead and take 2 more shots just to confirm and then clean. But I think it's gonna be an easy day. That's what I like to hear. That was the first shot. I held about right here, and that's where it went. So let's see what the next 2 shots will do. All right, time for shot number 2. Give you guys an action shot. See how much smoke actually comes out of these things. All right, I jerked that one. That trigger is pretty heavy on that Thompson Center. I'm trying to do better on that 3rd shot for you guys. All right, let's take this last shot, see where she prints. All right, so I'm gonna call that good. This was our first shot here. This was our second shot that I jerked. And then this was our third shot that felt pretty good. And you can see those two are more or less touching. And now this is only at 20 yards, but you know, like I said, I'm not gonna be hunting much past 30 to 40 yards. So, you know, if the way I consider it is if we're anywhere in this, you know, 4x4, I'm good. I'm happy. That's a dead deer all day long. So, all right, so to wrap up, you know, I'm pretty impressed. Inch group at 20 yards with a muzzleloader. May not be the best, but is it lethal? Absolutely. So hopefully we'll get some deer down next weekend, and I'll show you guys some footage of that. Y'all have a good one. See you then. All right, so just to recap, I think I might have said it was like an inch group in the video. After measuring it, it actually came out to be about 1.5 inches, which again, at 20 yards is not super impressive, but when you're only shooting 40 yards, you know, what does that open up to? Call it three inches. 3 inches is a minute of deer in my opinion, so I'm cool with that. Haven't shot that muzzleloader since I was a little kid, so definitely getting back behind it was fun, informative. Definitely not as good with open sights as I thought I was. Definitely been spoiled by high quality optics. So I got to definitely do some more practicing. Let's see. I mean, I really don't have much more to add. If you're on the fence about muzzleload hunting, man, it's easier to get into today than it ever has been. I don't even have the most modern muzzleloader, but they make them break action, bolt action, so it's very, very similar to what we're using in centerfire rifles. So, you know, the barrier to entry is much less than it used to be. So I strongly recommend it. It adds about 2 weeks to your season, and you get in there before all the rifle hunters, and that alone is enough for me to want to muzzleload hunt. Because once that first centerfire rifle goes off in the game lands, man, it's them deer find a nice hole to hide in. So, you know, I definitely recommend archery and muzzleload hunting for that reason. Y'all have a good one. I'll update you guys next weekend. Hopefully we'll have some skinning videos for you guys. See ya.